Next up, we have the Winter Haven Blue Devils. Coach, can you introduce yourself and the players that you brought with you today?
Absolutely. I'm Carl White, going into my second year as Winter Haven head coach. I'll go from my right to left. Chad McClain, he'll be an upcoming senior. John Kostick, quarterback, upcoming senior. Robbie Gaskin, athlete, upcoming senior. You got Jordan Tarver, upcoming junior. And you got Cassidy Urban, upcoming junior as well.
Coach, why did you decide to bring these players on the main stage today to represent the program? If you can, talk about each one briefly for our audience, what they bring to your program from a character and athletic standpoint, and what college coaches can expect to see out of each one if they stop by to visit spring practice.
Perfect, absolutely. Again, I start right to left. You know, with Chad McClain, you know, over the past, 2 months, he's been pulling double duty. We've been doing the Breakfast Club thing since January, and he's been coming to morning workouts. He's been staying late and going to the, weightlifting team. He's part of that as well. And I think he just represents who we are and what we want to be. You know, he's tenacious, he's good in the classroom, he does all the right things around the school, and more importantly, he's a darn good football player. And he represents everything that we are and what we want to be. And in terms of the college pieces, I think you're going to get a tenacious kid who goes around, smacks people in the mouth, and that's exactly what you want out of a linebacker. He's up at 315 pounds with bench. He's doing everything the right way, and I think you can get a darn good person in your locker room, and he'll be a great teammate. John Kostick, we're going to start off with the main thing, and that's, he's got 4.5, 4.6 GPA. He's a Cambridge kid, and he represents us the right way. And he's a two-sports kid as well, plays baseball right now, so he's pulling double duty. And, he was a part of our breakfast club, but he definitely earned the right to be one of us, the captain of this football team. And, you know what you're going to get on Friday night out of him. He is just an absolute dog. He's a competitor, and, he's a great kid. At college, wherever he lands, he's going to get a darn good football player. Robbie Gaskin, he came from us, from Auburndale, and again, if you're sitting at this table, you do all the right things. And so for us, this kid right here, he's going to smack you in your mouth. That's what's going to pop off at the tape right off the bat. With him, he's the heart and soul of our defense. And last year, things started to turn around when he moved the defense. And for us, he's a leader of this program. He's the, when I look at a guy, if I had to cookie cut one to say this is what we want it to look like, it would be Robbie Gaskin. I'm so proud of him. He does everything the right way. And I look forward to having him for one more year. Jordan Tarver. And he's a wide receiver for us. I expect great things. Again, another two-sport guy. For us, he does everything the right way in the classroom, walking around the school. You're never going to have an issue out of him. And right now, he's in the heart and soul of track season, where I fully expect, he's going to make a run at state right now. And I fully expect him to have a great impact on this ball team this fall. So he'll lock down that wide receiver spot this year for us. And, we expect him to blow the top off of it, this year. He's going to be a great weapon for John to have. And Cassidy got some ticks for us last year. He's going to be a game changer for us. He does all the right things as well. He's in the heart of track season 2. He's improving himself each and every day. And he was part of the Breakfast Club as well. But all of these guys, again, are all about what we want to be and who we are and what we want to be. But Cassidy's going to have a great year. I think he's going to be a name that you hear across Polk County for a long time to come. He's that special. I think he's just got to go out there and prove it this fall.
Real quick, I'll make a switch. All right. I'm glad you mentioned the Breakfast Club. It's something that, if it has gone on around the county with other programs, they're keeping it behind the scenes. But I thought it was something unique seeing who the players get up to school before school starts to actually work out, get some lifting in. Kind of talk about that, why'd you implement it, and then as a follow-up for the players, kind of describe to us how you feel about the Breakfast Club and what it has done for the program so far.
Well, for us, it was kind of out of necessity. It wasn't necessarily something that we kind of, this is kind of what we're going to do because it was who we we are. You know, our weightlifting team had, you know, workouts immediately after school, so we did, this is what we got to do in order to get better. We knew that, you know, coming out of last fall, the weight room was definitely a deficiency for us. And we knew in order for us to be successful and get to where we want to be, it had to happen. And 5:30 was inconvenient for everybody. You know, it really was. But I think once the kids started to see the dividends, you know, that were paying off, you know, I think John, you know, finally got his 2 plates. You know, Chad down there, 315. This guy right here is knocking on the door at 300. You know, so all of these things, I mean, everybody's talking about he's gained like 10, 15 pounds. Like, all of these things matter. But I think once they started to reap some of the benefits of waking up at 5:30, I think that just changed the trajectory of it.
And then for any other players y'all want to comment on?
I feel like the Breakfast Club helped us out a lot with discipline, like waking up in the morning, getting ready, getting to school on time, and it helps us throughout the day. It wakes us up for the day. We get to our first period, usually you're tired, but instead you wake up, you already have the energy for the day. It helps you take like faster to the day.
I think not only it helps us get stronger, but it helps us trust our teammates more because we know who wants to show up and who wants to be there, even though we're tired. It's early in the morning. It's before school. We don't want to do it. The people that are working hard and the people that want to be there are the people we can trust on Friday night.
Not only is it getting us stronger, but it's preparing us for college. Because in college, morning workout, you got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go lift weights. So I think us getting up at 5 o'clock, getting to the weight room at 5:30, and there for an hour and a half, getting us stronger and preparing us for college.
All right, Coach, coming into the spring, you returned 6 starters on offense, but only returned 3 on defense. With so many new faces on the defensive side of the ball, what are your expectations of those returners to help get the new starters up to speed?
Yeah, you know, we got, you know, Chad McClain will be one, Jack Glanton, Arquan Glanton will be another one, and we got some other guys that got some minutes, but, you know, I think it's up to them to kind of, you know, that level of play can't drop off. You know, that group last year ended up giving up, I think it was 11.4, 11.7 points a game. The expectation is not going to change just because we're young. The standard is the standard, and, you know, we got to keep it going. You know, Robbie Gaskin was part of that as well, so there's our 3. But the standard's the standard, and they know it, they understand it, and they know that. And we're going to uphold it, and we're going to do everything we can. But these kids got to grow up really, really quick. Our theme for this spring has been emergency, you know, because that's what we got to treat it like. You know, we got to have a sense of urgency. We got to be desperate to get better each and every day. It doesn't matter if you've played 48 snaps or 48 ball games. If you've not played one, you got to get better. You got to be ready to play for this ball game.
Sure, absolutely. Good morning, Coach. Good morning. Taking a look here at my probably 2 early top 5 out-of-state games between Florida teams and then teams outside of the Sunshine State. Knoxville Catholic. I'm going to go up to Tennessee. Kind of talk about what kind of experience that's going to be for the boys, and obviously, playing a really good team out of Tennessee. I mean, talk about the pros of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going home for me. You know, that's where I'm from. So having the opportunity to play in front of my family with this group is going to be really special for me on a personal level. But in terms of, Knoxville Catholic, traditionally they've always been really good. You know, Amari Rogers has come out of there. Cade Cooper, the Georgia guy, and then they've had another lineman in Tennessee. They've always traditionally had a player or two that's been a 5-star type kid. That's a real difference maker. Going through when I was at Carcinoma recruiting, that school, they've always had guys. So it's not going to be a game where you're just going to roll in there and just go play. You got to play. You got to be locked in, ready to go with the distractions of the travel and doing all the things that we're going to do. But for me, it's so much bigger than football. Again, we talk about college with these kids all the time. We want to provide these guys with an opportunity to experience what this feels like, staying in a hotel room the night before a game, having the discipline to take you behind to sleep when you're supposed to, getting up, preparing for a game mentally. That's going to be, at 7:30 at night with the distractions of going to different colleges along the way, having several different walkthroughs, whether that's in the parking lot of a Golden Corral or whatever that looks like. A lot of distractions come with playing an out-of-state game, but it's so much bigger, in my opinion, just a football game. I want these kids to experience, the life of, traveling, understanding that, the expectation that comes with that. probably some of these kids have not been out of state before to play a football game. So being able to have those memories with your teammates and hopefully a bunch of family members, I think is really special. But I think it's going to be really good for everybody, you know, to be able to get out of state. Hopefully that's something that we can do moving forward every year, you know, with this ball club, is just to go out of state and have fun with these guys.
And that extends to any of you guys, players. I mean, if any of you want to kind of touch on that, just playing out of state, just excitement, what's your feelings? Nervous about that?
To piggyback off what Coach said, I feel like it's a great way to get ready for college, like traveling, getting used to being on the road, getting used to having, you have to deal with the things that come with traveling and playing not at home. Like, being in high school, you usually are used to going through the same thing every day, usually going to the same place to warm up at, either going to the same place to warm up at, going to the same field to play at. And with traveling, it's like you don't know where you're at, you don't know really what you're doing until that happens. So it's getting you prepared for college, going to different places and playing.
You said it.
I asked the previous group this, obviously some comments made via social media about, you know, Polk County players playing in college and kind of being, you know, one-year guys and then they're kind of immediately leaving. I mean, do you have any thoughts as, you know, a head coach that, you know, you see tons of, you know, great players, not only within your own program, but, you know, programs around you? I mean, do you feel like that's a undeserving stigma or perception of players that are coming out of Polk County that are going to play collegiately?
Yes, I thought it was an unfair shot. I did. It's where we are. It's the sign of the times. It is, it's something that we've allowed, you know, at the collegiate level. It's allowed, so it's not like they're doing anything wrong. But I think to pop a shot at a Polk County, I mean, it was directed at one certain school. It felt very personal in my opinion, but it was unfair. You know, I think these kids, you know, they got to go where the opportunity is best for them and what's best for them. And with the climate of where it's at, you know, they got the opportunity to look elsewhere if they have to. And I think the other side of that story is teams can put kids in the portal too. It ain't like they're just leaving. So let's get the full and whole story before we just decide to say this kid is leaving. Let's ask that coach if he put him in there first, because that's important too. I mean, because right now it's like the narrative is not getting both sides, and I think we need both sides in order to make an opinion like that man did on TV the other day. Wasn't fair. No Polk County.
Any of you guys have any opinions on that as players? And then the field. I know I posted about the stadiums. I know you guys have been getting on me. I know Winter Haven's got a nice new artificial turf field. I mean, talk about that. Excitement, obviously.
Yeah.
Just going to be a great place to play on Friday nights this fall.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's something that I think everybody in that community, in our school, you know, definitely these guys, I think it's something that we're proud of. You know, it's a beautiful place, in my opinion. It's the absolute best place to play in Polk County. You know, it's the biggest stadium. It's got all the glitz and glamour. And now, you know, with a couple other new things that I'm hearing that's about to happen too, before the season starts, it should be the best place to play in Polk County. And I won't shy away from that. It's a beautiful place. You know, I think it's going to be something, again, that this place can be proud of. You know, we gotta give it some added dimension. You gotta win in it, you know, but I think it's something very special that everybody can be proud of. And, you know, I know these guys are. We've talked about it, you know, a lot, but, you know, everybody's super proud of it. It's a beautiful place. If you haven't seen it, stop by, go look at it. You know, it's awesome.
Only playing two. All right, Coach. You guys, thank you.
I did have a question for John. John, you've got the grades, 4.5 weighted GPA. You've got the playing experience, 2 years as a varsity starter. And in this off season, you've increased your size on your frame. You're now to, looks like 182 pounds according to your huddle page. What do you feel like you now need to show this spring to convince college coaches that stop by and visit that you are a quarterback that can help eventually lead their college program? Like, why should they offer and recruit you?
Consistency. Consistency is the best part of football. The more you make the right plays, the better your team does, and you're serving for your team. Especially as a quarterback, you're not for yourself. It's to to make the players better around you. And I want to make my receivers over there, I want them to get as many touchdowns as possible. I need to help my defense as much as possible, so that way they're not getting scored on. And we need to be on the field scoring as many points as possible. So accountability for a quarterback and being a team player and not playing for myself is what I need to do the most.
Robbie, you started your career primarily on offense. Then this past season, you made your mark on defense, finishing with 60 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 5 forced fumbles. How has that transition to the side of the ball gone for you so far, and what do you hope to show college coaches that visit this spring?
It's helped a lot. I love the game of football, so it doesn't really matter where I play as long as I'm playing. Like he said, being selfless, playing for the team, playing anywhere the team needs me. As far as college coaches, I feel like just showing them diversity, I can play anywhere. Show them that I know the game of football from both sides of the field, and show them that I'm willing to play no matter where they put me in.
And as we wrap this up, Coach, do you have any final words that you'd like to leave fans or college coaches of what they can look out for with your program this spring?
Yeah, let's start with the coaches. I think it's important that we just stop by and take a look, what we got to offer. I think you're going to get a well-rounded kid, in terms of what we're presenting. If they're sitting here, if they're on that prospect sheet, I promise you they've been tried and true. And I think it's, you're going to get a great kid. You're going to get one that's going to bust their butt. They're going to work hard. They're going to do everything they're supposed to. They're going to be a great program guy. So I think, just come by, stop by, and meet every one of these guys. It's a great opportunity for these guys to be in front of them as well, and we prep them for that. But, stop by, come by practice, come see what we got to offer. And, we're right around, everybody else. We're 5 minutes away from 4 schools. Stop by and see us. We would love to have you. I think last year we had 57 and 63 coaches. We like to keep that up and get these guys the most exposure they absolutely can possibly get. And, we'd love to have you.
All right, thank you for coming, Coach.
Thank you, Hassan. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.